ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Thank you guys for joining me today on Wrighster Wrong. As usual, I got to get the Periscope feed up real quick, and then we will be ready to go. Joining me today on Wrighster Wrong. Okay. Bingo. There we go. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I am super excited that you guys are joining me today. Unafraid Wrighster Wrong, Tuesday, July 11th. So I just put a question out on Twitter asking, who would you want your kids to be like, right? So the two topics I got today are, one, we're going to talk a little bit about Aaron Judge. That Aaron Judge is Steph Curry. He's not LeBron. And the second thing is, I want my kid to be like Grant Hill. I'm not shooting for him to be like LeBron James or Steph, or my daughter to be like Serena Williams. I'd rather her be like Venus. And I'm going to explain to you why in a minute. But first thing we're going to get to is Aaron Judge. Why Aaron Judge is not like LeBron James. I heard A-Rod compare him to LeBron James the other day. Because, of course, I mean, that's an easy comparison. He's 6'7", 275. He's a physical freak. You know, he's just unbelievable. Last night in the home run derby, best ratings for the home run derby in 10 years. He hit, what, 300, 400, 500 footers. It was pretty incredible, right? Breathtaking. You can't stop watching him, all that. So, of course, the comparison is LeBron James. But that's not who he's compared. But that's not who he really is. He's more like Steph. Because think about LeBron James' career trajectory. He's been great since he was a young kid. High school phenom, junior high phenom, on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It's more hype than any athlete ever. But, yes, he's lived up to the hype. Yes, he's performing at a high level, doing things that other men have not been able to do in the NBA because they haven't been blessed with that body. And the ones who were didn't have the same work ethic and drive that LeBron has had. So, that's not Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is a kid who was adopted. He was drafted in the 31st round coming out of high school. Then goes to Fresno State in college. Gets drafted again in 2013 by the Yankees after he finishes I think the 32nd pick. That's not the same career trajectory. In the minors, hit okay. Last year he got called up to the bigs, so he spent some time in the minors. Got called up to the bigs last year. What did he hit? Yeah, he must have been dominating, hitting the ball all over the place. No, when he got called up to the bigs, in 95 plate appearances, 42 strikeouts, batting average 179, hit 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. That's not that impressive. That's not the kid that you think is going to turn around and be the star of baseball, right? Everybody's wondering who's going to be the star of baseball. Who's going to come and be the face of baseball? Well, now you have it in Aaron Judge. The reason why I like Steph Curry, though, is because he's doing things and doing them in a way that nobody else has been able to do them. Steph came in the NBA pretty uneventful. People didn't believe. They thought he could be okay. Not anything, not a transcendent player like he's been. Aaron Judge comes in very unspectacular. Then all of a sudden this year, which is technically his rookie year, starts blasting home runs all over the place. Hitting them 390, 450, 500 feet, actually in games. Like not in the home run derby, but in games. That is unprecedented. I mean, that's like Steph shooting 35-foot three-pointers. People didn't expect it. You didn't expect that to happen. So that's why he's more like Steph than he is LeBron James. And he's a testament like Steph Curry is too. He's not the knock against Steph. Oh, he's not big enough. He can't hack it in the NBA. He's too nice. He's not going to make it. Aaron Judge is a testament of perseverance as well. Wasn't a whole lot of hype about him. Nobody expected him to do great things. They expected, okay, maybe he'll make it to the big leagues. Yes, he was a first-round draft pick when he came out of college, but not a big-time power hitter in college. Last year, unspectacular after he got called up. He's a testament not to give up on your dreams and don't believe just in your circumstance. He's adopted when he was a day old, so his original family either didn't want him or couldn't handle him. So he was blessed in that way. Steph was blessed with a good family. There's a lot more parallels between Aaron Judge and Steph Curry than there are Aaron Judge and LeBron James, because that's the easy way out, just to take the physical aspect of things. But when you really deep down and you go through where he is and what he's doing, he's more like Steph. Last night in the home run derby, what did he do? Demolishing the baseball. He even hit a home run so high, hit the roof, they couldn't even count it. They didn't even know what to do. Like, they don't even know what to do with this. They're like, what do we do? Do we expand the park? Do we do this, do that? And then remember the first season that Steph hit all those three-pointers, and when he broke the Dennis Scott's record, what do people say? Oh, he can't do it again. Can he do it again? I mean, this was a good season, but not all that. This dude, Aaron Judge, just like Steph, is must-see TV. He has that wow factor. Mind you, the best player in baseball, though, is Mike Trout. Everybody pretty much universally agrees with that right now. Mike Trout is. And Mike Trout hits home runs. He might be the white Willie Mays. I mean, the kid is ahead of some of the all-time greats at this point in his career. Statistically. Ahead of them. I mean, the dude is phenomenal, Mike Trout. But why hasn't he been able to transcend into must-see TV? Is it because he plays for the Angels? No. That's not why. The camera will find you if you are polarizing, if you are exciting. And Aaron Judge is just exciting. The kid is just magnetic. Same way Steph is. You can't help but watch him. He's just going out there, and then you always see him with a smile on his face. He looks happy to be doing what he's doing. Baseball has its star that it needed. The ratings proved that last night. The ratings proved it. And Aaron Judge delivered. Everybody thought that Mike Stanton was going to win the home run derby because he was at home. He didn't make it out of the first round. Granted, they need a revamping of the whole home run system, but whatever. But Aaron Judge, though, he did not disappoint. Just when you thought that Bohr had hit 22 home runs or 23 home runs, and you were like, oh, well, Aaron Judge is done. Huh. Aaron Judge said, hold my beer. Hold my beer. Let me go out and hit one more than this, man. Spectacular, man. And the home run derby is a testament of endurance more than anything to win it. Obviously, you have to have the skills. Everybody's got to be able to hit home runs. But you have to have stamina. And he had the stamina to outlast everybody else. Guys, the guy who was against in the finals looked like he was going to fall over and die. Like you needed to take his pulse. To give him a Gatorade and an oxygen mask. Aaron Judge, nope. Forget about it. I'm that man right now. Thank you guys for joining me. Please share the feed if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you're watching on Periscope, Facebook. Thank you guys. Please share the feed. Next up, though, is a topic that's close to home, which is my kids. So I have 4 kids, and everybody asks me, who do you want your kids to be like? Hold on. Hold on, I have to send it out. So I asked the question on Periscope. Who do you want your kids to be like? Here are some of the responses I got. Marcus Mariota. Not mad at that. He's my favorite college athlete of all time. Mind you, because A, he's a duck. B, the kid is just a spectacular human being. Like, he's the guy that if he were in a relationship with your daughter and they broke up, you'd be looking at her like, excuse me, Devin, what did you do? You know, kind of like one of those things. The Rock. The Rock's not a bad example either. Because, mind you, most people don't know, though, that The Rock got arrested like 4 or 5 times before he was 16. But $7 Productions is a big deal right now. He had $7 in his pocket when he came out here, went into wrestling, and now, you know, this dude might be president in 2020. And he's got that cheese. J.J. Watt, not a bad choice either. Hard working. He's a savage. Great at what he does. Good person. Yep. Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman, you can't argue with that. This was a selfless human being that gave up his NFL career to go be in the military. And he lost his life in the process. Can't argue with that either. Benjamin Watson. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. One of my tight end comrades, NFL. He wrote a book called New Dad or Dad to Be, Go from Winging It to Winning It. The Dad's Playbook. Not mad at that. Not mad at that. Good choice as well. Jermaine Defoe. I don't know who that is. So excuse me if I missed somebody that I was supposed to. Okay, so all those are good choices. The people that I said that I would want my kids to be like are Grant Hill and Venus Williams for the girls. Why? Why those people, right? They haven't had spectacular. I mean, well, parts of their career have been spectacular. I know most people would pick LeBron, Steph Curry, because he's a good guy. LeBron, he's a physical freak. Serena Williams. They have endorsements. They're Hall of Famers. Some of the best to ever do it. Rich, famous. Seem to have it all together. Have families, all this. Those are great people. I get it. Those are great people. Steph's had to overcome some adversity. LeBron has too. The reason why I picked Grant Hill, though, is because I've always wanted my kids to be well-rounded, right? I've wanted them to have more than just sports. Because, yes, they're blessed physically to do some of these things. But I've wanted them to be well-rounded. I love the fact, even though I hated Duke, for the same reason why so many other people hated Duke, I was more Fab Five guy. But as I got older, I realized, wait, hold up. Grant Hill was a good student, played the piano very well, great in sports, went to Duke, which is a good university, seems to be stable, well-rounded. And then when he ran up against tough circumstances, because he was on top of the NBA, everybody thought he was going to be the next, he was the heir apparent to Michael Jordan. Him and Penny Hardaway, you could debate who was going to be it. What happens to Grant Hill? He's got his own shoe. He's the man out here in these streets. Got Sprite commercials. Got everything. Hurts his ankle. Not only does he hurt his ankle, he destroys his ankle. Keeps hurting it. Keeps hurting it. Career falls off. So he ran up against tough circumstances, and his life didn't fall off the tracks. As hard as it had to be for him to sit out seasons and have unfulfilled, talent and ideas that we thought he was going to be. Life didn't fall off the tracks. Married to Mia, who appears to be a woman of character as well, of high character. He's got a family. Now he's got a second career. Well-adjusted. That's why I want my kid to be like Grant Hill, because my boys, because when they run up against tough circumstances, if life deals you some lemons in the middle of your fruit punch party, in the middle of everything going well, you get knocked down. What are you going to do? Are you going to let your life fall off the tracks, or do you have more? So hopefully I want to raise my kids the way that they have that. But that's tough though, right? And for the girls, I said Venus, not Serena. Who does Serena say she looks up to? She looks up to Venus. Sitting on top of the world, she helped women get equal pay in tennis. They get just as good as ratings, so why wouldn't they get paid as much? She helped that. Her, Billie Jean King, so many other women. Serena looks up to her. She went back to school when she didn't have to. She was one of the first people to venture out to have her own line when she was with Reebok. She ran up against tough circumstances with her autoimmune disease, which makes her super tired. Her career, she literally went from the best player in the world, ahead of Serena, got the autoimmune disease, didn't know what it was, fell off, and then is fighting back. That's the things that I admire. And she has more going outside of tennis. Seems to be a woman of character, of good morals. She just ran up against hard circumstance in a car accident. What does she do? She handles it professionally. Goes out does her job in tennis. These are the things that are great and amazing that I love, that I want my kids to be like. But isn't the trouble and the tough part about us as parents that's really difficult is to how do you actually do that though? How do you achieve that greatness and that balance with your kids? How do you achieve it? Because for me, in my situation, I have my kids half the time. From a previous relationship, so it makes it even more difficult. So because if I want them to do one thing or another thing, then I got to make sure it's cool with their mom. She's got to support it on their end. Then I may not want what she wants. She may not want what I want. So it makes it very difficult, right? So how do you do these things? How do you give them that balance with the time? Because in sports, one of the things I try to teach the kids, especially my 11-year-old son, who I probably work with the most right now, is about leadership and about character. Because I know the mistakes that I've made in life, mistakes that I made in sports, and I don't want him to repeat those same mistakes. And if he can lead, if he can know how to work hard and give good effort and focus, because those are the things that I tell him. I tell him, you know what, son, I don't care if you throw a no-hitter. I don't care if you hit a home run every single time that you go up to bat. I don't care if you throw 1,000,000 touchdowns. I don't care if you catch 1,000,000 touchdowns. I don't care if you hit hole-in-ones every day. After the game, I tell him, I'm like, son, I enjoyed watching you play. If these two criteria were satisfied. How was your focus and how was your effort? Because those are the two things that you can control. And your focus means where you were supposed to be, where you dialed in and tuned in to the game, to practice, all of these things. And your effort is literally your effort. Did you do the best that you could every single time, every single rep, every single time that you got out there? If you did those two things, I don't care if you struck out every time. I don't care if you hit every batter, walked every guy. If you do those two things, guess what? You're going to have success, more than you're not. And I can be proud of that because it's going to translate outside of this game. It's going to translate outside of baseball. It's going to translate outside of my daughter with tennis or the other one with gymnastics or whatever it is. If you do those things, the translation will happen. Because I see so many parents, they want their kids to be Steph. They want them to be LeBron. Everybody can't be that. If my kids turn out to be something like that in sports or business, whether they turn out to be lawyers, doctors, engineers, whatever it is, I want them to be professionals and I want them to be the best that they can be at it. So because if you're hoping that your kid is going to be a physical freak like LeBron or whoever, stop hoping for that. You need to work on their character and instill their character, because those are the things that are going to take them to the tough times. Because how easy would it have been for Grant Hill to let his life fall off the tracks? Start using drugs, start running around on his wife, start doing X, Y, and Z because he's sad because his career is not going the way he wants it to go. How easy would that have been? How many people go down that rabbit hole? Because it's hard. Prime example would be somebody who was on top of the world doing what they wanted to do and all that is Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder, baseball player, on $200 million contract, almost 180. He gets hurt with $100 million left on his contract. He can't play anymore. Him and his dad, Cecil, who was an all-time great player as well, had beef. They weren't that cool. He finished, guess how many home runs that he finished with? Same number as his dad, all time. They got a stick in his crop. And he could let his life fall apart. He could. We'll see what he does. Yes, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the success and all the fame in the world, but if your character and you don't have more than just this game, whatever game it is that you play, whether it's sports, whether it's your job, being a lawyer, being a doctor, being a trash man, being a whatever it is, if you don't have more and you haven't taken care of the inside of here, you're doomed. You will fall apart. Because in my own experience, when football was taken away from me because of injuries, oh, that was tough. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't. And my life took a destructive path for a little while. Had to get it back on track. Had I known what I know now, obviously would have made better choices. Would have made different choices. Because my parents tried to do their best. They had never raised a professional athlete before. They had never raised a kid who was going to do in college the things that I did and all these things. So they did the best that they could to prepare me for where I was at. So now I try to prepare my kids to face what I faced, and B, that way that not only will they be prepared in sports if they so happen to make it past high school to playing, but that way that they can make it in life as well. Because when life knocks you down, you have to have something else. I'm reading this book right now called Make Your Bed. And it is by Admiral William McRaven. He was a Navy SEAL. I mean, this is the guy who was charged with capturing Saddam Hussein, transferring him over to the military police. Like, this dude has commanded the greatest of the greatest soldiers around the world. So, and one of the things that he talks about is one of his SEAL buddies who ended up, he was biking, on his road bike, hit another biker at 25 miles an hour. He ended up paralyzed. He said in the 35 years from when he wrote this book, apparently, to when that accident happened, he hadn't heard his friend complain not one time about the circumstances that life dealt him. Didn't hear him complain about it. He just went out and did something else. Went out and was great at something else. So now he is tasked with the games for the SEALs and for other branches of the military, their competitions every year. He's turned around and done something. He became like some renowned artist. You have to have more. Like, you have to have that drive to do other things than just these sports or just whatever it is that you're doing. Like, you have to have more parts of you. That's why I want my kid to be like Grant Hill, my boys, and my daughters to be like Venus Williams. Some of these other people are fantastic and all that, and you guys have some really good choices. Oh, another one that people came out with was Tim Tebow. I like Tim Tebow too, because Tim Tebow is making the most out of his talent. I mean, he's literally making the most. I mean, he's living out his dreams, doing the best that he can every single day, it seems like. And he's not going to quit for anybody. Against all the detractors, could be running out here. I mean, he was on top of the world. He could have slept with every woman, probably. Well, not every. You get the point. A lot. Chose not to do it. Keeping his character intact. All these things. That's where we're at right now. So thank you guys for joining me today on Right or Wrong, Unafraid. I'm going to tackle these topics every day. This is our show. I appreciate it. Please share, like, subscribe, do whatever so we can keep bringing this to you. Appreciate it. You guys have a great and blessed day. Peace out.